Hello and welcome everybody to today's live stream from YouTube. I'm Gustavo Tolosa, the host of the online book club and the pianist and the chef and webinars with so many doctors in the plant-based world. And I'm glad to be here for the next 8 days as part of the celebration. And the celebration is about this incredible, really once in a lifetime bundle that Chef AJ has created, and that I want you to at least take a look at it. Just at least go and take a look at it. There are 111 programs there, from cooking sessions to exercise sessions to yoga sessions to videos and programs about binging and how to make the best salads and salad dressings, which sometimes is a issue, to raw food, to starch based. It's just incredible. And what is even more incredible is that you purchase one of them and you get 111. So I've never seen anything like it. I've gotten mine. I hope you take a look at it. But today's topic is, and before we get started here, in case you want to take a look at this bundle, I will put the link here. And if you're in my email list, I will email it to you as well. Um, and today's topic is insulin resistance, which is something that keeps coming up over and over. And it is a topic that I have discussed, I don't know, numerous times. And I can almost recite every word by memory. We've talked about insulin resistance with Dr. McDougall in many of the webinars that I've done with him. They are in this YouTube channel. Just go to um, look around with all the webinars with Dr. McDougall. Also, we've talked about in our book club that I have every week. We have read The Starch Solution by Dr. McDougall. We have read The Healthiest Diet on the Planet by Dr. McDougall, and the insulin resistance topic has come up there. I have also talked about this in this book, Own Your Health. We have also read The Cheese Trap by Dr. Neil Barnard, and we have read Reversing Diabetes by Dr. Neil Barnard. So we have we have talked about this in my channel so many times, but I want to give you the short answer now. And I can, like I said, I could just tell you word by word what these doctors say, but I will go ahead and read so that I am actually quoting Dr. Barnard from his book here. And please type any comments or questions that you have, because if I can, I will answer them. And I see good day, Dr. Gustavo from Helen in Perth in Western Australia. Oh, hello. And hello from oh, I don't see. I'm not sure from where that one, from Australia, from Southern California. Great. Thank you for joining me. So, um, what this is the short version. Okay. We all have a pancreas, most of us, I guess. Uh, and the pancreas is an organ that is in your abdomen. Here, we have a pancreas. This pancreas produces insulin, and this is on page 16 of Dr. Barnard's book. So the pancreas is in our abdomen, is an organ that produces insulin, and insulin is a, yes, You guessed it right. It's a hormone. Insulin is a hormone. The pancreas sends that hormone into your bloodstream. Okay, so just imagine your pancreas constantly making insulin throughout the day, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on different factors. But all that insulin is going into your bloodstream. So it travels to various cells of the body. I don't know how many exactly, but I'm assuming that it's millions or billions of cells in our body, particularly muscle cells, so that we can do our basic daily activities like walking, cooking, moving around, playing the piano like I do, um, driving, going to work, whatever we do, we are using muscles constantly. And this insulin is going to all of these muscle cells. So if you could picture, like Dr. Barnard says here in his book, insulin being like a key, and I have here an old-fashioned key. This is insulin. It's a key. And he explains that it's like a key that is sliding into a lock. Insulin attaches to a receptor on the cell's surface and causes the cell membrane to permit glucose to enter. So this key is insulin. It goes to every cell, muscle cell in the body, and it opens the membrane of those cells. Why? Well, because glucose needs to enter. And what is glucose? Glucose is sugar. You all know, like Dr. McDougall says, that glucose is our number one source of energy. Yes, we get some energy from fat and from protein, but it's mostly glucose. And of course, the brain functions on glucose. So this insulin goes to all the muscle cells, opens the cell so that glucose can go in and enter and give us energy. Insulin does the same thing for this cell and the next cell and the next cell and the next cell, and it opens the door so that the glucose can usher in. Now, in type 2 diabetes, we're not going to talk about type 1 because that's where we have a damaged pancreas. But in type 2 diabetes, where the pancreas actually works and makes insulin, this system does not work properly, Dr. Barnard says. Your pancreas makes insulin, so type 2 diabetes, which really is the most common and is the one that can be reversed. Um, your pancreas makes insulin. The insulin does travel to um, it travels to each cell, but when it arrives, it has trouble opening the door. And thank you, Jacqueline, for uh, from your donation. I really appreciate it. I really do. It helps me to continue creating these free webinars. Thank you very much. And so, what happens? Well, in type 2 diabetes, when the key or the insulin arrives to each cell, it's what happens? Well, your pancreas makes insulin and insulin travels to the cells, but when it arrives, it has trouble opening the door. This is insulin resistance. Okay, so I hope that now you know what insulin resistance means. It means that your pancreas is perfectly fine, is making insulin. The insulin is going to the cells, but when it gets to the cells, it cannot open the door. So What happens if you cannot open the door so that glucose can go in? Well, it stays in the bloodstream where it shouldn't stay. Yes, the insulin key is there, but it has trouble doing its job. Glucose cannot get into the cells. And what happens when glucose cannot get into the cells? Well, it accumulates, it builds up in the bloodstream. So Dr. Barnard says, imagine the workings of a lock on a typical door. Imagine your front door, okay? And what if someone were to jam chew gum into the lock? Just picture that. You chew gum, put it inside the lock. There is nothing wrong with your key. It's not the key's fault that there is gum in the door, in the lock. And really, nothing wrong with the lock, except that it is now filled with gum. So the lock is working, the key is there, but it's jammed. To make it work again, we need to clean out the gum. This is not a complicated concept to understand, to go to the root of the problem. But once again, like in other areas of medicine, like heart disease and many other things, it seems that it's more profitable to treat the symptom and not the cause. Dr. Barnard says the new approach to diabetes is based on cleaning out your biological locks. Our goal is to help your insulin key work the way it is supposed to. So, what is the gum that Dr. Barnard talks about? Well, the gum that is jamming the cell membrane so that the key cannot open it is fat. Yes, you heard it right. It's fat. And so there is a drawing here that I want to show you. And this drawing is on page 24. This is a cell, and inside the cell, you have fat. And you have way more fat than what this cell can take. And there are little, what could we call, tiny organelles that are called mitochondria, these little ones here. And those are supposed to burn the fat. But when there is too much fat, they can't keep up. So Dr. Barnard explains this very well. And I will attempt to explain it to you. Actually, the best thing is to read it. The bodies make insulin normally, and it reaches the muscle cells with no problem. Once it gets there, though, it doesn't work properly. The muscle cells simply could not fully respond to insulin because they contained bits of fat, gummed, jammed in a lock, rendering a key useless. How did the fat get there? How did so much fat get inside the cells? Well, muscle cells normally store a tiny amount of fat, which provides an energy source for physical activity. The amount is normally quite small, and the fat simply waits for the day when you are much more active than usual and need a bit of extra energy. For some reason, fat builds up much more than it should have. And in most people, like Dr. Barnard explains here, that have diabetes or insulin resistance, the level is 80% higher than in other people that don't have insulin resistance or diabetes type 2. 80% more fat inside the cells. So what happens is that the fat is sticky. It's yeah, it's like the gum. So that is the problem. In a way, it's simple. All you have to do is get the fat out, which is possible with a whole food plant-based diet or a low-fat vegan diet without processed foods. And voila, the fat starts to disappear and the key starts working. And that is why it's not a secret that people with diabetes type 2 who attends the McDougall program or Dr. Barnard's program, but I've seen myself with my own eyes in McDougall program, by the second day, they're off their medications. You do have to, all when you make a diet change, you do need to be in direct contact with your physician because your physician will need to adapt your medication almost daily if you follow a real whole food plant-based diet that is low in fat. So Dr. Barnard says, I should emphasize that the fat inside your cells is different from the fat around your waistline. Another very important point. It's not the same kind of fat. Even if you are quite slim, you may still be accumulating fat within your muscle cells. There were participants in this study at Yale who were slim, averaging only 141 pounds. They were young and healthy, but just as young people who smoke are setting the stage for cancer decades later, young people who accumulate fat inside their muscle cells are paving the way for diabetes. These are studies that are published in medical journals. Like this study is published in the February 12, 2004 issue of the New England Journal of Medicine. The New England Journal of Medicine is a very well-known and respected medical journal available to every physician and doctor in the world. And so this is not a secret. Yet medicine continues to treat the symptom. So you pump more insulin into your body, you cut out sugar, etc., when in fact the real problem is the fat inside the cells because of the fat that people eat. So I hope that this has helped, and I hope that if you know anybody who has this problem, that you will uh, pass on this video. I want to show you that today I made this wonderful vegan chili, delicious. It's in my YouTube channel. You just have to go to the recipes part. I also have corn that actually I planted corn in my backyard, so I'm eating my corn. And it's a starch-based meal and low in fat, and is whole food plant-based. That's what's going to get you to a healthy state. Very good. Let's see if we have any other comments here. All right. Well, thank you for being here today. I hope that you will visit the bundle page and that you'll get it. I'm happy to be featured in it I've promoted bundles other times, several times, but I have never seen a bundle like this. That's for sure. And this is the first time that I was invited to participate. So you will get, besides the 110 other programs, you'll get mine, which is called The Pianist and the Chef, in which we cook together and then I play a little concert for you. So I hope you'll take a look at that. Even if you don't purchase it, go to this site and look at because you may see things there that that may give you ideas. So just the titles and the descriptions of each offering, I think that's worth looking at. All right. I hope that this was helpful, like I said. And tomorrow at the same time, I'll do another live and we'll see. It's going to be a surprise. I may be cooking something for you with a recipe that you can keep, or I may be talking about some other issue. If you would like to email me and send me a request for a specific topic or recipe, please feel free to do so. You can email me at info@plantimas.com. There is my email. And if you would like to visit the website, which I do in conjunction with a physician, his name is Dr. Ponyman, you can visit the website. There's a lot of free resources there. And I hope you'll enjoy. But make sure you visit this YouTube channel and you subscribe. I constantly put new material there. Bye, everyone. Have a great Tuesday.